how to build smart and optimized forms on your HubSpot portal. So first of all, let's see how to create a form. So to create a form, you just need to go to Marketing, Lead Capture, Forms, click on Create a Form. And the first choice you will have to make is to decide what type of form you want to create. So you have 6 options, but basically they can be regrouped into 2 different categories. First are what I will call qualification form. They are like the classic form of forms, and they present the most complete editing option in HubSpot. So these are the 2 different qualification form. Either you can embed it in any web page you want, or you can like have a standalone page that will display this form. The other category is much more like pop-up form, because according to me, it looks much more like a pop-up than an actual form. And they are composed by pop-up box, drop-down banner, slide in left box, and slide in right box. So basically, those are the 4 same forms. The only difference is where it will appear on your website. So basically, these forms will be triggered by your visitor activity. Either they scroll X percentage of your page, or they read your blog for X seconds, or they try to exit your website, and so ever. So these pop-up forms are not that complete in terms of how you can like collect information about your leads. So today we will focus more on these 2 qualification form. And for this example, it doesn't really matter, but we will choose embedded form. So you click here, you click on next, and we want to start blank because I want to show you all the different possibilities. So now that we are in the editing menu, you have 2 parts. Basically, on the right, you have a preview of your form and the different properties you want to display in your form. And on the left side, you have all your property library based on different categories, frequently used properties. So that's just an easy way to find the one you use most of the time. Some consent properties, your contact properties, your company properties, and your ticket properties. So how to add properties in your form? You just need to select the one you want, drag and drop, and you can drop it wherever you want, like under, on the side, under, on the top, you choose. Now that we know how to add properties, we want to know how to edit them. So you just need to click on the set property, and you will have 2 different tabs. First is basic, then is logic. Logic, we will come there a bit later. But for the basic, we have basically what can be done in every kind of form editors. So you can make this field mandatory, so no one can submit the form if they didn't fill this field. You can hide a specific property. So basically, it's in the form, but when the lead will see the form, it will not show anywhere. So it might be a bit strange, but we will see later on why it's a really good features and how to use it properly. Then you have like classic text editing properties. So you can change the question name. Up. You can have a description. And you have placeholder and default value. Those are a bit similar, but really different indeed. So basically here you can show an example on how you want them to fill the property. So it's not a proper value, it's just like a gray text that say, hey, do something similar than that. And default value, which is actually a real value that if they don't modify, it will be recorded in their contact record. So if I put Richard as default value, if they fill the form and don't modify it, my lead's first name will be Richard. So now that we saw how to add properties and edit properties, we will see, for me, the 4 best and specific tools in HubSpot. So first of all, you might know that in HubSpot you have different objects. So objects can be contacts, companies, survey, tickets, etc. The idea is in your portal, they are really linked together. So for instance, if you have a new lead that fill this form and his email address is mark@google.com, you will have a professional address and you will have an individual. So basically, it will create one line in your HubSpot, like in your contact database, Mark, that work in Google, blah, blah, blah. And it will create a line in your company database, which will be company Google, blah, 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 blah. The idea is we can ask in one form question about a contact and the company is linked to. So for instance, we can ask Mark in this form the annual revenue of his company. It's very easy to spot that on the editor because contact will be green, company will be orange. And basically when he will fill the form, it will update his contact record and this value will be updated in his company record. So it's really a good thing to create a lot of complex data collection, and it will organize your database in an efficient way. So then we talk about the hidden field, and I want to show you one use of it and why it's important. So let's say now you have different services on your website and you have a specific form for each of these services. So if a lead fills a form of a specific service page, we can assume that his interest in your company is based on this service. So I created a property named service needed. And if, for instance, he fills a form on the HubSpot specialist service page, I can assume that the service he needs for his company is this one. So I can pre-fill this service and I can make it hidden. So that way, he just fills those information and I will know, and this property will be updated in his contact record and I will know it without asking him the information. So just to show you, if you publish the form and you want to view it, you see that this property is not appearing anywhere, but when you will fill, this value will be updated. So why doing that is because based on that, we can avoid some workflows to link a specific form to a specific service or to create more complex machine than needed. And you can use this property to trigger a specific qualification workflow or specific nurturing campaign workflows, like whatsoever. It's really useful to organize your database without creating too much automation. Then another features of this HubSpot tool is the dependent field. It's not something specific to HubSpot. Basically, every form editors have it, and actually other form editors have a better one than the one HubSpot propose. The idea is, for instance, if your company is selling products that can't be sold to pregnant women, you want to ask your lead if the lead is pregnant or not in order to qualify this lead. But if your lead is a male, it doesn't make sense to ask him and it will impact negatively his user experience. So basically, you want to ask this specific question only to female leads. So how to do that? You just ask for the gender of your lead and you will edit this property. So you click here and you will use this logic tab that we mentioned before. You will leave this field on the form and you will play with the dependent field. So it's a basic if-then logic. So if your gender contains any of female, then show, and you just need to add your are you pregnant property and to add it. So basically, this form will not display the pregnant question unless here the value is female. So if I update and publish, we can test it. So I have this basic form without the service needed because it's hidden. And when I will click on female, it will ask me if I'm pregnant. Then the last, and for me the most interesting features that HubSpot offers us in is its form editor, is progressive fields. So basically, more information you have about your leads, better it is, because you will have more tools to qualify the lead or more context to propose a relevant sales speech. But the idea, you can't ask 200 questions in one form on your website because no one will take the time to fill it. So the idea is to propose a form that will evolve based on the information we already collect on the lead. So it's really useful for a nurturing campaign where you will ask your leads to fill more and more forms to get more information. So to show you how it is better than Word, I will show you. Let's say we want to know the location of a specific lead. So we want to ask him his country, his city, and his street address, let's say. So if you have this big form with all these properties, it might scare your lead off and impact your conversion rate. So the idea is we want to ask him the country, and when he will go back to our website, if we know his country, we will make this disappear and make city appear instead. And if he come back, we will make city disappear to show street address, etc., etc. So how do you do that? You just need to click on the first property you want to replace, go to logic, and here that we mentioned before, we want to click here and say replace with queued progressive field. So it works because we have this progressive field notation here, and it just opens the menu of queued progressive fields. So the idea is we have some properties we want to replace, and we have a waiting list here that will order the next properties to show in case we already know those ones. So now you just need to drag and drop. Of course, I can't do that. You just need to drag and drop the properties you want to replace the main one. And you see they are all tied with the progressive field annotation, so it's working. Then the country, city, and street address is not the best example to show you that, but I think it's an easy one to make you understand how it works. But if you play smartly with progressive fields, dependent fields, and hidden fields, you can really create powerful forms that will make your database really organized and get the most information you can about a lead. One last thing about progressive fields is more than don't overwhelm your leads, it will also measure the engagement of those specific leads. Because if we know the street address of a lead, it means the guy has filled at least 3 times the form. So we can assume that if street address is known, then engagement of this lead is super high. I hope it was clear enough. If you want to learn more about how to automate your HubSpot portal and how to manage your database, I create this private web page named the Workflow Box. You can find it for free in the description, and it will be a listing of all the different workflows I created and presented on my different channels. And for each workflow, you will have a detailed to-do list action plan, a video like the one you're looking now, and a detailed blog post to give you more details about this process and why it's important to make it. I hope it was clear, and I wish you a great day.